Good afternoon, sir. Please state your first and last name for the record.
Stevie Louis Jones, S-T-E-V-I-E. Middle name is Louis, L-O-U-I-S. Jones, J-O-N-E-S.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. You're before the court this afternoon to be arraigned on 16 felony counts. It is alleged that on or about October 6, 2023, at or near 22 of Lansing, Ingham County, Michigan, counts 1, 2, and 3, armed robbery. It is alleged that you did, in the course of committing a larceny of money, assault or put in fear a person present, Sean Ripley, Tyrus Masner, and Danielle Taylor, and in the course of that conduct possessed a gun, a dangerous weapon, and that your actions were contrary to law. Each count, sir, is a felony potentially punishable up to life or any term of years. Count 4, count 5, count 6, bank robbery. It is alleged that you did, with the intent to commit the crime of larceny, put in fear Shauna Ripley, Tyrus Masner, and Danielle Taylor for the purpose of stealing money from a bank, and that your actions were contrary to law. Each count, sir, is a felony potentially punishable up to life or any term of years. Count 7, weapons, carrying concealed. It is alleged that you did carry a dangerous weapon, specifically a pistol, whether concealed or otherwise in a vehicle operated or occupied by you, specifically a Chevrolet Captiva, and that your actions were contrary to law. That is a felony, potentially punishable up to 5 years or $2,500, including mandatory forfeiture of weapon or device. Count 8, police officer fleeing third degree under the penal code. It is alleged that you did, being the operator of a motor vehicle to whom was given a visual or audible signal by hand, voice, emergency light, or siren by Officer Tory Brooks and or Officer Drew Armstrong, police officers who were in uniform, and the officer's motor vehicle was identified as an official police motor vehicle acting in the lawful performance of their duties, directing you to bring your motor vehicle to a stop, that you did willfully fail to obey such direction by increasing the speed of the motor vehicle or attempting to flee or elude the officers in an area where the speed limit was 35 miles per hour or less, and that your actions were contrary to law. That is a felony potentially punishable up to 5 years and or $5,000 in fine. The Secretary of State shall suspend the operator's or chauffeur's license. Count 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Weapons, felony, firearm. It is alleged that you did carry or have in your possession a firearm, specifically a pistol, at the time you committed or attempted to commit the felony, specifically 3 counts of armed robbery and 3 counts of bank robbery. Each count, sir, is a felony, potentially punishable up to 2 years consecutively with and preceding any term of imprisonment imposed for the felony or attempted felony conviction. Mandatory forfeiture of the weapon or device. Count 15, weapons, firearm, possession by felon. It is alleged that you did possess a firearm when ineligible to do so because you had been convicted of narcotics conspiracy under 21 USC 846, a felony punishable by imprisonment for 4 more years, and that the requirements for regaining eligibility had not been met, and that your actions were contrary to law. That is a felony potentially punishable up to 5 years and or $5,000 in fine, including mandatory forfeiture of weapon or device. Count 16, weapons, felony, firearm. It is alleged that you did carry or have in your possession a firearm, a pistol, at the time you committed or attempted to commit a felony, specifically felon in possession. That is a felony potentially punishable up to 2 years consecutively with and preceding any term of imprisonment imposed for the felony or attempted felony conviction, including mandatory forfeiture of weapon or device. Mr. Jones, do you understand what those charges are and the maximum possible penalty that you face with each of those charges?
Yes, but I'm lost on one thing, ma'am.
Which charge did you not understand, sir?
I'm talking about you say I got 16 counts. My understanding means that it's like I robbed 16 banks. I mean,
Sir, do you understand? So you don't understand the charges? Is that what you're telling me?
I understand what you read, the counts
Okay.
and stuff, but I'm just saying it's like as if when you 16 counts, like as if
Well, that's
committed
not what I read,
16.
sir. That's not what I read. I read 3 counts of armed robbery, 3 counts of bank robbery, 1 count of weapons carrying concealed, 1 count of police officer fleeing in the 3rd degree under the penal code, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 counts of felony firearm, 1 additional count of weapons firearm possession by felon, and 1 additional count of weapons felony firearm. Those are the charges, sir, that I read.
Okay, ma'am.
You do have a right to be represented by an attorney. If you're unable to afford an attorney and be economically qualified, an attorney will be appointed at the public's expense. We do have an attorney present today from the Office of the Ingham County Public Defender who is here for purposes of today's arraignment. Mr. Nickel?
Of Mr. Jones for arraignment this afternoon.
All right, thank you. Has he made application for appointing counsel, sir?
He has.
The court will note the application for appointed counsel and enter a not guilty plea on Mr. Jones' behalf as to counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Mr. Jones, you do have a right to have a preliminary exam. At that preliminary exam, it is the burden of the prosecuting attorney to present proofs to establish that there is probable cause to believe that each of the felony crimes, sir, that you have been charged with was committed, and that you are the person who committed that felony crime. If the prosecuting attorney is able to meet that burden, then this matter will move on to circuit court for further proceedings. Do you understand that?
Ma'am, Your Honor.
Your case has been assigned to the Honorable Judge Flores with a probable cause conference scheduled for October 20th at 8:30 a.m. with a preliminary exam to follow on October 27th at 8:30 a.m. You should have received a copy of that notice to appear reflecting those dates and times.
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
You also have a right to remain silent. Anything you say orally or in writing can be used against you in court. You also have a right to have your attorney present for any further court appearances or any questions to which you may consent. Do you understand your rights, sir?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Thank you. Sir, I'm going to confirm some information with you. Will you please tell me your address? Do you have a telephone number where you can be reached? Are you currently employed? Got it. Are you able to connect to court proceedings by Zoom
Yes,
with the video?
yes.
Are you currently on probation or parole?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Nipple Esteban.
Yes, I did have a chance to speak with Mr. Jones. As he noted, he does have employment in the area. He did report some limited criminal history, although it looks like his last felony convictions were in the 1980s, and his last entry on his criminal history appears to be in 2001. So there's been quite some time since he's had contact with the criminal justice system. I do understand he is facing very serious charges and multiple charges that I would ask the court impose a reasonable cash surety bond at this time.
You must appear for all court dates for which you have received notice, sir. You must not leave the state of Michigan without permission of the court. You must not commit any crimes while released. You must notify this court in writing of any change of address or telephone number.
Yes, ma'am.
You must report to pretrial services within 48 hours of your release. You must not use any alcohol, marijuana, or illegal controlled substances. You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not to purchase or possess any firearms, firearm components, ammunition, or dangerous weapons. The court is imposing a no contact order protecting 3 individuals, Shauna Ripley, Tyrus Masner, and Danielle Taylor. That means you're not permitted to have any direct or indirect contact with any of those individuals, nor are you permitted to be within 2,000 feet of where they work, live, or go to school. The court is also specifically prohibiting you from going into Comerica Bank located at 22. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
The court is also requiring a GPS tether. Do you have any questions about your bond conditions?
Like the GPS tether, I never had that. Now, you permitted to go to work?
You can ask whatever questions to the tether company, sir.
Oh, okay.
But typically, people are able to move about with their GPS tether. The bond is $125,000 cash surety.
Okay.
So, yeah, what was that amount?
125,000 cash surety.
Thank you, Jan.
You're welcome. We're off the record. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, officers. Thank you.